Coming up next,
Adventure Time!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Adventure Time!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Regular Show!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Regular Show!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Regular Show!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Clarence!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Clarence!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Teen Titans Go!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Teen Titans Go!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Teen Titans Go!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Teen Titans Go!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Teen Titans Go!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Johnny Test on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Johnny Test!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Total Drama Island!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Total Drama Island!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Uncle Grandpa!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Uncle Grandpa!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Over the Garden Wall on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More of Over the Garden Wall!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Ed, Ed, and Eddy!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Ed, Ed, and Eddy!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More of The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Steven Universe!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Steven Universe!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
What's New, Scooby-Doo?
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More What's New, Scooby-Doo?
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Tom and Jerry Tales!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Tom and Jerry Tales!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Tom and Jerry Tales!
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, the all-new Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu special event. Later, more of the Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu special event on Cartoon. Coming up next, more of the Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu special event. Later, Clarence on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, regular show. Later, more regular show on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, regular show. Later, more regular show on Cartoon Network.
Dame duro, papi, dame duro.
Glock shooting at the Hummer today. I'm in a bad mood, so I feel like dumping today. Yeah, I'm a bad move, I'ma dump at his face. Keep the toolie by my side, feel like Ratchet and Clay. Yeah, shoot out the rave, stick up. I need everything else safe, nigga. I'm with them grave niggas, we gon' dig your grave, nigga. Pop my at the rave, nigga.